Doesn't give me an answer. Have you seen this? I don't know if you know him at all. I mean, I don't know the guy, but I know of him. The Jason McIntyre, who works at Fox, but he says that if for whatever reason, if LeBron in the NBA comes back and LeBron wins another championship, that without a doubt puts him ahead of Michael Jordan. I'm like, what? Where's this guy getting his math from? I don't understand it. Like,
Puts him ahead of Jordan Howe.
exactly. As the greatest of all time
I
is what this
mean,
guy's saying. It's like, what? It's outrageous.
he's in the team picture, but
Yeah, but I mean, he's not even top five Lakers of all time.
well, he hasn't been there long enough. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
I agree. It's just hard when it's different eras because he's just bigger than everybody, you know? So it's hard to picture Dennis Johnson trying to guard him, or even Kevin McHale, or it's
yeah.
just a
I
different game
mean,
now.
I could see Michael Jordan guarding him though, and I could see Michael Jordan potentially locking him up. And maybe that's just me in my head, because that's what I grew up watching. But I don't know. I just don't see it with him. I mean, he's a winner. He's a supreme talent. He's a great person on and off the court, as by all accounts. However, I mean, especially after watching that Last Dance, well, I mean, what I already knew just reconfirmed. I mean, LeBron, he's everybody's buddy. Like I feel like he pushes guys. He wants to make them better. But if that's a good thing or a bad thing, he doesn't push guys like how Michael did. I mean, you saw how Mike used to talk to guys in practice. Like
Right. That's it.
I
I think
just
it's an
don't see that.
interesting conversation.
And I feel like and I've heard from other guys, in the past that LeBron is a product of the AAU generation. And back then they didn't have that. All the elite players in the country did not
Right.
come together and play with each other in the summer. So LeBron knew Carmelo when they were 13. Michael Jordan didn't know Isaiah Thomas when they were kids, so he could care less about that guy.
Right.
Hey guys, just testing the messages, making sure you saw that.
Oh,
Got
you
it.
know what? I need to pull it up because for whatever reason, whenever it used to, it's up and running. But whenever I used to log on, it used to come straight up, and now I have to actually make sure it's there. So one day I'm gonna get sniped. We're gonna jump into something real quick, and I'm not gonna have it because I always forget.
Hey, Len, I'm sorry. Do you mind signing out and signing back in one more time? I think it'll help improve your video quality.
Okay.
Hey Miller,
Yeah, what's up?
did you see my Khloe Kardashian challenge tweet?
Yes.
How is that even? That's not even the same person. Like that can't be her. It's not the same person. What are we
No,
doing?
I don't think so.
Outrageous. Kids these days.
Yeah, is that Jason Taylor that you tweeted out?
Yeah, yeah.
Len, how'd the podcast go today?
Great. We had Joel Murray. He was fantastic. Good dude.
Has anyone seen that Undertaker documentary?
Have not.
I haven't either. It stinks because it's only on like WWE channel, and like I don't have that. I don't see myself getting it for
I
just
don't
for
think I
one
do either.
documentary. They need to sell it. They need to sell that a la carte because I would definitely watch that.
I wonder if that's going to be one of those things where they release it on their medium and then they, drop it to Netflix later.
I don't see why they wouldn't. I mean, they are even like Vice because Vice has Beyond the Mat. I don't know if you guys have seen any of those, but it's got like the documentary on Chris Benoit, on just a whole bunch of different wrestlers who led some dicey and sketchy lifestyles. Jimmy Superfly Snuka, how he was how his girlfriend was murdered and he got off scot free. It's crazy, man.
Was it HBO that did the one on
Andre the Giant.
Under the Giant? Yeah, I think that was HBO.
Was that
one was
HBO?
good
Yeah,
too.
that one was awesome. Absolutely. I mean, everything HBO does is going to be great. Like The Jinx. You guys ever watch The Jinx?
Yes, sir.
No, what's that on?
That was great, huh, Len? That was
HBO.
so good. Yes.
Wild.
There's a good one, Len, on Netflix called The Pharmacist, about a pharmacist in right outside of New Orleans who pretty much brings down big company pharmaceutical because of OxyContins. And he tracks this lady down who was, she was writing 700 prescriptions a day. And like, you got X amount of dollars for writing down a prescription for OxyContin. And like, people were lined up at her office at like 3:00 in the morning. Like, doctors' offices aren't open at that time.
No.
Very good though. If you had that on the list, you should check it out.
Yeah, I it's on my list.
And if you're looking for a mindless, hilarious watch, The Wrong Missy with David Spade on Netflix is hilarious. Not because of David Spade, he's not funny in it at all, but the girl that is in the movie she could be a star.
Okay.
Miller, have you seen that?
No, I haven't seen that one.
The Wrong Missy. Oh man.
My family and two other families are we're all pretty tight, and we've gone back and watched a Best Picture winner each week. And like,
oh, nice. I don't think this two Missies. The Wrong Missy isn't going to win Best Picture.
No, no, but it's crazy looking back. You see something 10 years ago, and you watch it again now. Some of them hold up really well, and others definitely less so.
Which one is one of your favorites that you watched so far?
I mean, Forrest Gump is just, I think that'll be good till the end of time.
Yeah. It's just when you hear all these weird things coming out about Tom Hanks, it's like, please, hopefully none of this is true. I can't not watch Forrest Gump.
Yeah.
Ugh. Castaway's pretty
King's
good too.
Speech was really good too. I hadn't seen that yet.
King's Speech was very good. You haven't seen King's Speech?
Yeah. I'd watch it for the
good.
first time, on this little rip through here.
Very good. Didn't win any awards, but have you ever seen Finding Forrester?
No, what's that on?
It's with Sean Connery, where he plays like a recluse. He's an author, and he like lives in the inner city of New York, and there's these kids, like they always see him peeking out of the window, like they're always playing basketball, but one of the kids just so happens to be like extremely gifted and gets a scholarship to like a prep school in New York, and then like they're daring each other to go mess with the kooky old guy up in there, and he drops like his book of writing, and then when he goes back to get it, like Sean Connery like corrected everything, and then they build this bond and this friendship, and like F. Murray Abraham is like the mean like English teacher who's always like down in this kid, and he's like you plagiarize this work, or it's pretty good. It's definitely worth a watch.
I think I saw it, but it's been a while.
Like there's a guy that brings Sean Connery his groceries because like I said, he's a recluse, and he drives a BMW, and the guy comes out and he says to the kid, he's like, "Why are you like why are you so close to my car?" And he's like, "I bet you don't even know what the logo on a BMW is for, because they used to make airplanes, and it's the propellers cutting through a blue sky." I think any other sneaky good.
Our editor who edits this show just chimed in. He worked on an HBO Real Sports about wrestlers. He said Razor Ramon and Jake the Snake were on it, and those guys got really effed up.
Right? Even Diamond Dallas Page, like he has that DDP yoga that he does for all those guys, and he saved Razor Ramon's life, I guess, like by doing that.
It's definitely a sport, or sport in quotes, that without fans is just, I mean, the whole thing is based on fan energy. No fans, it's like, what are we doing?
Yeah, I'll tell you what though, man. Like, I mean, I know that there's a script and there's clearly an end game to that. But when you watch some of these guys, man, like people are like, oh, that's not a sport. Like, if you don't think that these guys are athletes, like 6'3", 248 pounds, doing flips off of like scaffolding, like who in their right mind is like, oh, I'm going to do a flip onto folding tables, which, who knows, a piece of wood can shard off and shoot right through my back. I'm a body slam another giant human being into that. Like, absolutely not. Like, there's no way. Those dudes are supreme athletes.
No question.
Right? It's unbelievable. Like, hey, who's trying to get hit over the back with a folding metal chair? Not me. Like, say like a corner hits you in the elbow and gives you a bone chip, like all those little things, man. Those guys are getting pummeled. I'm cool with that.
Yep.
And the Miz used to come in at NFL Network all the time on fantasy, and like I knew he was a wrestler. I knew he was on The Real World, and he was he had to act and everything. But I saw one of his matches where he picked a guy up and did like a back suplex off of like an 18-foot scaffolding. And I had a newfound respect for this guy, man. I'm like, you have got to be out of your mind. Out of your mind.
Yeah, The Wrestler, the movie The Wrestler. He got the crap beat
Mickey
out
Rourke.
of him. Yeah.
Dude, and just to think, like, that's why The Undertaker, he's been doing it since 1990. Like, at the highest level.
Crazy.
I'm not a wrestling guy. I mean, I used to watch it, when I was a kid. But it's pretty nuts. Miller, you have a favorite wrestler growing up? Are you a wrestling guy or no?
Not a big one. Hold on, I'm trying to figure out what's going on with Napoli. I'll check back in with you guys in a second.
You got it. I wonder what the quality control coach would say about a guy showing up 11 minutes late, Len. I heard that guy gets paid by LeBron's camp to tweet some of that stuff out. That Jason McIntyre guy and Nick Wright. I want to know how much truth
Really?
there is to that. Because that Nick Wright guy tweets out something like LeBron has more top 5 MVP finishes than anybody, which makes him the best. Like top 5. What?
Hmm.
Lance Armstrong, did you watch that one, Len?
Did not. I'm kind of
Oh
Lance
man, was that
Armstronged
good?
out. I've watched
Yeah?
all the. Well, there was the 7-part one that aired a few years ago, and is it good?
Huh.
Did you like it?
Yeah, it's really good. Really well done. You just have a new respect for, I mean, like even my dad messaged me, he's like, I have a newfound respect for cyclists. Like he didn't really, I guess he didn't ever realize how long the Tour de France is. It's like, that's
Oh
Hey,
unbelievable.
yeah.
Bruce.
Bruce,
Hey, Bruce.
What's going on?
what's up, man?
How are you?
What's
What's up,
going
How
on,
was
Bruce?
Bruce?
your interview? How was your
We still haven't
How was your
taped our
interview?
Napoli interview yet. We're still waiting for him to join us. But if Matt ends up getting on, we can always do a segment and wait for Napoli, and we'll just stop down for 10 minutes from our show to knock out the interview. We're kind of just waiting and seeing when he is going to join us. If it's in, should be any minute, but we'll keep everyone updated if we hear
You
anything.
wanted me to stay on or just not go
Yeah,
off?
you can. Yeah, you can hang on for a minute here because if Matt ends up joining, we can knock out a segment or two.
He's not supposed to join till 50, right?
50, yeah.
See if we can get a deal hammered out this week.
Right? How about it? Come on.
It's only money.
I'm ready to get some plans in place so I can mosey my way back to Chicago, man. I think I'm gonna have my dad's gonna fly out. We're just gonna drive.
You have a place here all set?
No, I mean I have an apartment for when I get there, but we don't have a house yet. I got a bunch of bags at my mom and dad's house, Bruce.
Yeah. It's no fun for anyone. Oh, you might be going to Arizona first.
Hey, whatever works. Do whatever. I'm down for. I said I'll drive there. We
Chicago's a
know
little
everything that's
slow to
in
be.
place.
Chicago's a little
Hey,
slow to
Bruce. Can I
be.
get a slow 10 count from you real quick, just to check your lip sync?
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You don't want anything looking like Lake of the Ozarks, Bruce, over the weekend.
Just when you think you know what people are thinking that live near you or in your same country, you don't.
I mean, that was unbelievable. Like I'm all for trying to go out and try to but it's like I'm not trying to be elbow to elbow on people like in a pool. Like, eesh, I'm good on that.
I wouldn't do that pre-virus.
There
Right.
you
Stand
go.
in a pool and drink beer. Not my thing. Maybe I'm the weird one.
I mean, that didn't even look fun at all. Like, I mean, if you're on a pool on vacation, then like there's way more room to roam about. But like, you legit couldn't walk 2 feet without slamming into somebody. That looked disgusting. I'm with you on that, Len.
When you're sitting there, standing there waist deep, drinking beer, some guys are not running to the bathroom.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, you had to go there, Len.
Well, just saying.
Another one for you. Hey, Bruce, can you give me one more slow 10 count? I just want to triple check on you. Thanks.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Looks like Mike is logged in here.
All right,
Yep.
I'll
See that.
let me know when you guys want me to
Yeah,
hook
Bruce,
up
we'll keep
again.
you honest. Thank you.
Bruce, you don't have to log out or anything. I'll just I'll mute your mic and you won't be seen or heard. Just so you know. You go.
Len, what's Mike's number with the Cubs right now? Do you know what his jersey number is?
I don't. We'll have to ask him.
No.
Hey, Mike, it's Andrew, the producer. If you can hear us, not sure, but if you can you just try exiting out and then re-logging back in for us? We can't see or hear you right now. Cute kid you got there, Cole.
Thank you, brother. I guess they might be able to get their softball season. Their all-stars, at least. They made their all-star select team. They put that team together, so maybe they might get to practice this week. They might just break them up into groups, and we'll see.
And they get moving
She got some
around.
new catch. She got some new catcher's equipment, so she's been out there getting after it.
Look good, feel good, play good.
Right? I wonder if Napoli played against Gio Gonzalez in high school because he's from Hollywood, Florida, My buddy's cousin played at LSU, and he pitched at like Cypress Cove in Hollywood, Florida. I don't know if they're about the same age. Hmm. There he is.
What's up, fella? Oh,
What's going on, Mike Napoli? How you doing, man?
I'm good. How about you?
Excellent,
Hey,
Is
man.
this
Mike.
good enough?
Hey, Mike, can you hear me? This is Kevin, the director here. Marky, how are you?
Yeah, I can hear you good.
Perfect. Can we? I just want to show a little bit more kind of shoulder headroom. Can you tilt down?
Better? No? Hold on.
Hey, Mike, did you play against Gio Gonzalez in high school?
No, he was in my area though, for sure.
Okay, because my buddy's cousin is from Florida. It's from Hollywood. He played at what's the high school? Cypress something.
Yeah, it's Cypress Bay now, I think it is.
Yeah, he went there. A guy named Eric English. He's about your age.
Perfect, Mike. And then just slide a little to your left, just to center you up in your shot if you can. That's perfect right there.
Hey, Mike, it's Angel, the producer. Thanks for taking some time for us. I just want to make sure you're looking at
Yeah,
the right camera. Could you just point at the camera you're looking to on your iPad or iPhone, wherever? Yeah, that's great. Yep, right there is
Mm-hmm. That's good.
where we want you to be. That was perfect.
okay.
Just a couple more moments here, frame it up, and then we'll get going. Where are you joining us from?
Florida, Fort Lauderdale area. Hey, try
So you
not
got
to
that
walk
got
in the
that
bathroom
partying
first.
back.
Here, let me try to go in my office. Oh,
Hey, Mike, if you can hear me, this is Kevin again. If you are on wireless, can you get off wireless and go on to your data service? If you can hear me.
good.
I don't
How's
see you
that?
if you're looking at the camera at all. I see a image of a airplane. There you are.
There we go.
I'm just trying an area where I can have good.
If you get off wireless and go on to your data, that will help improve. I don't know if you're on wireless right now, but yeah, if you jump off that, that should help improve your quality here. Let me know. You got me here, Mike?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I hear you. I don't know if you heard me about jumping
Would
off
you
wireless.
What'd you want me to do? Jump
If
off
you
wireless?
turn if you turn the wireless off and go to your data, that should help improve your video quality. Just let me know when you do that.
So that's in settings. Sorry, I'm not technical at all, bro.
No, that's all
Set.
good. Yeah, just in. Are you working on your cell phone?
No, I'm on an iPad.
It should just be settings, and then should be a little category called Wi-Fi, and just click that, and it should give you the option to either turn it on or off. If it's on, just it'll give you just swipe one way or the other, and that should turn it off. Hey, Mike, can you hear me? This is Kim one more time.
Get out of here. Get out of here. Yeah, move. Smokey, get away from there, bro. Love you too, baby.
Hey, Mike, can you hear me?
Hopefully this. We good?
Yeah, can you just all you have to do is turn your phone the other way, so we'll get you nice and full,
Oh gosh.
and that's it.
But I gotta look at that little camera on the side, huh?
Yes. All right, stand by.
Yeah, the camera should be on your left, Mike.
Yeah. So
Yep,
Right there.
right there.
you want me to look at
Perfect.
that while?
Yep,
Yeah,
you
just
start that camera, you're all set. And then, real quick, can you just tilt your camera up a touch, and then we should be all good. Just to give a little bit more headroom.
Up, so
Yep, you got it. Perfect.
looks great. Dusold, you good to go? Yep, you got it. So Cole, just a reminder, this will be the first thing you see in the block. So just come right in, welcome
You
back,
got
and
it.
then right into the interview, and then we're teasing
Yep.
Epstein acquisitions at the back end.
You got it, dude.
Then real quick, Mike, just slide a touch to your left if you don't mind, just to center yourself up.
Just another 30 seconds, and then we'll get going here.
Cool. Mike, I see you logged back in and under Michael Napoli as opposed to Mike.
I
Very
hit the
official.
button that put it in there.
Nice.
That's great.
Amanda, I could hear that. Oh man, quarantine is awesome, guys. How's it going for
Isn't
you?
it? Yeah, yeah. My my wife and daughter are right in that room over there.
Yeah, great.
Let's start on a 3 box here. And
Yep.
Mike, your audio's coming through great, so don't worry.
Okay.
Make sure the recording's going, Kev, in the stream. Okay, here we go. In 5, 4, 3, 2.
And the fun continues here on Cubs 360, presented by Miller Lite. And look who it is. Joining Len and I, it's Mike Napoli, the Cubs' new quality control coach. And Mike, the beard looks gorgeous. The shag in the back, it's impeccable. But I want to know first things first, how are you doing, man?
I'm doing great. You know what? I actually live by Rizzo, so we've been working out together, staying in shape, and he's actually getting me in some pretty good shape. I took about 2 years off, and I'm really enjoying getting back into shape and acting like I'm training to play.
We're going to ask you how your bat's feeling right about now in just a little bit. But until then, over your 12-year career, you're an all-star, a World Series champion. But I really want to know what led you to coaching.
To be honest, man, I want to manage one day. I want to be able to lead and be able to try to win a championship at the head. So I think this is the first step. I got a good opportunity, obviously with the Cubs to try to further myself into that, to kind of feel my way through, to try to see how it is, and just try to help out.
Mike, you played for some really good managers, Ron Washington, Mike Scioscia back in the day, Terry Francona. I know they're kind of like your kids, right? But I'm going to put you on the spot. Did you have a favorite?
Man, I mean, I love them all. I had such great relationships with my managers, and I gotta say though, Tito probably wins it for me. We have a really close relationship. When I got to play that year with him in Cleveland, it was something different. We click together, same personalities. We believed in the same things. On the field, it's we had such a great relationship. I swear I was in his office every day, playing cribbage with him, having a good time, and he's just fun to play for.
Now, Mike, you're on the staff this season as the quality control coach. Now, I envision you putting little slips of paper in the back pocket of guys' pants saying these pants have been inspected by Mike Napoli. But what does that job actually entail?
You know what? I didn't really know at first, but getting in there in spring training, it was fun for me. I was still trying to feel my way out. Coming into an organization that I don't know too many people, but David Ross and Lester and stuff. So just going there and trying to open up to everybody, letting everybody know that I'm an open book. I'll talk about baseball all day, off the field, stuff all day. So I mean, I'm there to kind of do little. I love base running. I help out with base running. I know a lot of people probably like, why would he be doing base running stuff? But I took pride in it. I love running the bases and games. Advancing 90 smart baseball play. So I guess the thing is I'm a Swiss Army knife. I can do a little bit of everything, but to be honest, man, I want to be an open book and help these guys. I know what they're going through. I just got done playing. To be able to help out to minimize, being so hard on yourself or the game to help these guys get better every day.
Mike, you don't have to be fast to be a good base runner. Paul Molitor, to me, was the best base runner I ever saw, and he was not nearly the fastest guy in the league. Rizzo, also a very good base runner. As I look at your career, you had some terrific offensive seasons, but I want to hone in on 2011 with Texas. You hit 320, OPS of basically 1050, 30 home runs. You carried that into the postseason. You hit 328 in a bunch of games all the way into the World Series. You missed about 3 weeks midseason with an oblique injury, but that did not derail you. So the question is, what was it about that 2011 season for you?
To be honest, I didn't start off real well. I mean, I think All-Star break I was hitting around 200. You know, I think getting hurt was probably the best thing for me, in my oblique because I went to batting practice. I didn't overswing. I got my path right every single day. I wasn't trying to hit homers and BPs. So I think it really helped me with my path and be able to, hit the ball the other way, stay within myself. And, before you knew it, I was just getting hits, every single day. It seemed like, from the All-Star break till, we ended the season. And it was just, I've never been in a zone like that for that long. You get into zones, for a week to where you're like untouchable, but I felt like it was, the whole half of the second half.
Mike, Len made mention of that 2011 team that came up just a hair short. But in 2013, when you were on the Boston Red Sox, you guys did reach that mountaintop, and you did so with David Ross and John Lester. And you said those were the really only two guys you knew when you came to the Cubs organization. But that 2013 Boston team, what made that squad so special?
Man, you know what? We had a lot of veterans, and it was crazy how we talked and we made shirts at All Star break that said it was three lines, games, one goal, and we had a duck boat on the back of the shirt because we knew we were going to win it. We were a confident group. I think a lot has to do with because nobody was worried about themselves. They wanted to come together and just win a championship. And to be honest, we talked about it all the time. We felt like we were going to do it. Our saying was just hit play and stuff's going to happen. We were going to win it.
Moving to 2016, and we know how it turned out. But the thing about it is, if Jason Kipnis' ball is, what, a few feet to the left, you guys win that game on a walk-off homer by a kid from Northbrook, Illinois, who grew up going to Wrigley Field. So the margin for error is just razor thin, isn't it? And it's really amazing, how these little things become huge when it's all said and done when you get to Game 7 of the World Series.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that just goes back to, base running too. When I played the game, I wanted to be an all-around baseball player. I wanted to do it on a defense, offensive side, on the bases. Any way I could help the team win, I wanted to do it. And you get into the playoffs, those things really matter. You can get away with it in the season, making mistakes, but if you don't build and come together as a team and do it together, those little things can hurt you in a game. And they say it's a game of inches for a reason because freaky stuff happens in this game. I mean, inches can lose you a game. It can win you a game. So I mean, the little things matter in this game.
All right, Mike, you're down there in Florida. You said you've had a chance to get some swings in with Anthony Rizzo. Now, in your final season, 29 home runs, which puts you in some elite company. David Ortiz, Ted Williams, just to name a few. So I want to ask, do you still have some of that pop left in the stick?
I got some pop for sure, but I don't think I have the grind in me to go through what these guys go through, and it's such a grind on a daily basis, mentally, physically. But no, I've really been enjoying getting into shape, man. Rizzo, he's a monster right now. He's working out. He looks really healthy and strong. So I'm excited to see him go to work, and I'll be happy on the bench, rooting these guys on.
Yeah.
Do you have your uniform number? Spring training, I didn't know if you had your uniform on or your pullover. What are you going to be wearing as a Cub?
I'm probably gonna do the pullover. I'll wear the jersey for the picture day, but my number is 55. I was really close with Brian Butterfield. So when I saw that he was leaving, I'm like, I'm taking that number if I can. So we have a really great relationship. Butter's awesome. So I mean, the way we bonded with each other, I felt like it was awesome for me to be able to get his number.
So you said you're going to wear the pullover, and you also said that Terry Francona was one of your favorites. Are you stealing a page from Tito's book? Because we know that Tito was always sans jersey. He always went with the pullover, and one time, well, it kind of bit him.
You know what? It's just more comfortable for me to just put a pullover unless I'm playing. I don't know what it is. It's comfortable for me. But yeah, if Tito does it one way, I'll do it.
Last one for me, Mike. The computerized strike zone, it feels like it's just a matter of when, not if. I would imagine as a catcher, probably mixed feelings about that.
To be honest, I don't like it. This game was made on here and with each other over the strike zone or an out. I mean, that was the fun part of baseball. I always loved that. Not really a big fan of the replay either. They went so many years on human error and these guys, trying their best. So, I mean, I don't really like it, but it is what it is. It happens and you got to adjust.
Mike, before we get you out of here, man, tell us a little bit more about the whole theme, Party at Napoli's. We've been talking about it all show long.
You know what? A lot of people don't understand the build up to 2013 for me. Losing the World Series in 2000, I signed with Boston a 3-year contract that, I had some hip issues that I wasn't able to have that contract. I had security under me that with that contract, but just going through that year, I had a monster year for me. Being a free agent again, winning the World Series, I partied and had a good time on Boylston Street with the fans, my family, my friends. It was a good time. So I think, people seeing pictures and stuff of me, doing that in Boston. A fan actually made a big old sign that I was like, oh no, I can't believe he's putting that out there. I don't want people to know. But it turned into a good thing. We turned it into charity. Made a lot of money for Cleveland Clinic Children's Hospital, and it was a very fun year for me.
Well, from 2013 to 2020, if the Cubs are able to hoist that Commissioner's Trophy this year, I think it's safe to say Party at Napoli's. Mike Napoli, the Cubs' new quality control coach. Thanks so much for joining Len and I here today on Cubs 360, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys, man. Be safe and hopefully see you guys soon.
Likewise, the pleasure's all ours anytime. Now, Ben Zobrist, as you know, he made an immediate impact with the Cubs, winning the World Series MVP in year one. So was that the best acquisition Theo has made as the leader of the Cubs front office? We're going to dive into that head first as soon as Cubs 360, presented by Miller Lite, bounces back. Stay put.
Mike, thanks so much. Really
Thanks, Mike.
appreciate your time.
Yeah, boys. All right, take care, man. Hopefully see you soon.
Thanks, brother. Appreciate it, man. Be well.
See ya.
There we go. All right.
Great, thank you. Cole and Len, nice job with that. Cole, I just sent you an email. Just another promo we're doing. It's a similar wording, but a little bit different, just because it's running on
That's cool.
running in a different
We
spot.
can do it. Wanted to do it after so we can get everybody in and out.
Yep, exactly. Yeah.
Yep.
We just reached out to Bruce and Matt. They should be
Bruce is here. Bruce is frozen.
any second. Yeah, Bruce is the logged out freeze.
Anyone else feel great about watching Tom Brady shank shots in the small bit that I watched?
I couldn't watch it. I thought it was really boring. But I'm not a golf fan.
I was seeing. Yeah, I saw Peyton was making he was hitting all these perfect shots. I'm like, are these guys bad at anything? And then to see Tom Brady, slice a few into the woods, I'm like, all right, that's what I like seeing that.
Matt and Bruce, what's going on? Thanks for holding off for just wrapped up.
Hey, Bruce, whenever you're comfortable, we're just going to have to reposition your shot there. Just show me more of the catcher's mask, please, and then tilt down a touch if you can.
Hey, sorry about that. I had Facebook audio coming through. Hear me okay?
Gotcha, brother.
Yep.
There you go.
Gotcha.
You guys.
And if you tilt up a hair, Bruce, if it's possible, just a touch more headroom, barely any.
Do you need me to tilt or adjust at all, Eric?
No, you're fine. I'll crop. I'll adjust you in the boxes here.
Okay.
So while he's
Adulting is clearly an issue.
Wherever we
Yes.
go
Just a
with
little bit more. There you go.
We'll
Yep.
go,
That's fine right there, Bruce.
Len, Bruce,
You got
Matt.
it. Thanks.
And as he's framing up, let's just go through some traffic. So coming on, hi, hello.
Yes, sir.
Into the topics, hit the 4-shot, introduce the panel. We have a VO for you, and then we're talking how crucial is it for baseball? How crucial is this week for baseball to come
This
back?
week, you got it. Mm-hmm.
And we just want to make sure we want to avoid the negotiation part of it and what we think. If we don't want to go into specifics on owners versus players, we want to keep it towards more of the sport as a whole.
Got it.
And then on
I
the
can't
back
hear
end,
Bruce is muted.
We
Bruce,
should
your
not
mic.
talk about.
There we go.
Yeah, I'd like
Can you
clarification on that.
So we're talking about how important it is for the sport to come back, and how this week is really a big week for it in terms of the timeline of everything. We're running into June by next Monday, but we don't want to talk about, we really need the players to give in on, this point, and we need the owners to do this. We kind of want to avoid the specifics, and we're talking about more of the sport as a whole.
It's still a little foggy for me. We're going to do 7 minutes of that?
So it's mostly about, we had great weather this weekend. It's Memorial Day, start of the summer, and everyone wants baseball to be back. How important is it for the sport in terms of, you can dive into the economics of it. You can dive into other sports are coming back. The NHL is making an announcement today on their sports coming back, and just how baseball needs to be, one of the first rather than one of the last to start. they'll lose momentum.
You said you can talk about the economics, but not about each
Yeah, we can
side's
talk about
economics.
correct. Yeah, the sport as a whole, rather than saying, well, it's important, or the players. We don't want to say the players are losing $1 million by every game that they don't play or anything like that. Making up a number for the sake of the argument, but we want to just talk about how you can even look at Wrigleyville bars. Like, are they going to even survive this? That's just all part of the conversation of the sport as a whole.
Can we talk about
Mike,
the fans' anger at a side or two sides? Is that okay to refer to?
Yeah, but let's just not point it towards a side, and you can point it towards the fans are going to be angry at the sport in general if it doesn't come back. Let's not pin it on the owners or the players. We want to just kind of avoid the blame. Are we getting
It's a
feedback?
Kevin, it's a long segment. I'm just having, it's all going to be generic from what you're saying, right?
Yeah, a lot of it is generic and broad, and mostly on like,
Okay.
yeah. And we don't have to go all 7 minutes. We can extend other ones. We want to hit on this, but
Yeah.
we obviously have to be a little bit.
But nothing on, what the information is about what they're going to offer and what they might want in return.
Correct.
just act
you
like
can
you're
talk
giving
about-
a
I
book
don't really
report
have
on a
much.
book
Yeah,
you did not read, Bruce.
I'm not very opinionated on it. I mean, I think, yeah. Let's just try it.
Kevin, I'll take a one shot when we are good to go. And we'll go Len, Bruce, then Matt in our order off the top here, Kev. Okay, here we go in 5, 4, 3, 2.
Hey there, Cubs fans. Hope the long weekend treated you well. We're back here on Cubs 360, presented by Miller Lite, as always. And I'm Cole Wright, back again as well. Now, today it's going to be a party at Napoli's, the Cubs' new quality control coach, Mike Napoli. He's going to stop by to tell us about his new role with the team. And he's also going to talk about how his Indians squandered that 3-1 lead in the 2016 World Series. And, of course, that was good news for Cubs fans everywhere. But we can't do that until we meet our panelists today. And they're in positions, as always. It's Bruce Levine, it's Len Casper, and it's Matt Spiegel. And guys, over the long weekend, I think we really realized how much we miss sports. And we miss sports in more ways than one, because this was the first Memorial Day without Major League Baseball in 140 years, since 1880. Now, while the Owners and Players Association continue their negotiations, well, it's pretty obvious that we all miss the game. And about 6 million people, well, they watched Tiger Woods and Peyton Manning beat Tom Brady and Phil Mickelson in the match this weekend. It was enthralling. Also, the NHL, they announced Tuesday their plan on returning to play. Now, guys, the long weekend in the city of Chicago, it felt like summer, mid-80s from front to back. And next week, it's going to be June. So, Bruce, I ask you, how important is this week to Major League Baseball's return?
Well, it's really kind of crucial. The week is very important. These negotiations are going on, and the most important thing is that the fans get back their game. The most noticeable takeaway from the Memorial Day holiday was everybody kind of felt like they were on vacation somewhere else because there was no sports to watch. We need sports back. We need baseball in particular to watch. That's the game of the summer. That's the sound of summer, whether it's TV or radio. We need to be able to watch and listen to that. And hopefully by the end of this week, we have a solution to this, and people will be able to watch their game, and baseball will be welcome back sometime in early July.
Yeah, I agree with Bruce. And, the plan that has been forwarded by MLB is to start in early July and play about an 82 game season with possibly expanded playoffs. And in order to do that, the days start to tick off and you can't wait much longer. I do think deadlines are good. Generally, that spurs people to make deals. I just want all sports to come back as safely as possible. And while it's always going to be encouraging to see the NHL and the NBA to follow suit, and hopefully Major League Baseball to announce a concrete plan to, in fact, resume, or in the case of baseball, have a 2020 season. A lot of these things are going to be out of our control over the next month. Some of it will depend on our behavior just as individuals in this great country. Some of it may not depend on our behavior at all, and the virus hopefully won't come back. But if it does, it could derail things. So I'm just trying to kind of live day to day right now, and I think everybody else is as well. But some sort of announcement soon, I think, would make everybody feel a heck of a lot better.
This is a big, big week because of the time frame, as Len referred to. And you don't want to be baseball and see the NBA or the NHL come back first, because you think fans are angry at that point. The frustration would be very, very large. So if you're going to get the timing right and get spring training 2 Electric Boogaloo to start like the second week of June, you got to do it soon. By the way, Cole, I'm not so sold on spring training 2 Electric Boogaloo. Work with me. How about spring training strikes back or spring training in the Temple of Doom? Still workshopping it, but we got to call it something. The spring training 2.0 is just too generic for me.
I mean, you've gone with spring training to Electric Boogaloo right out of the gate. So if you have to go with that one, I think you should stick to your guns there, Matt, because that's pretty solid. We'll see how Turbo and Ozone feel about that nickname a little bit later. But in the meantime, Len, how does baseball? How do they figure things out if they're not the first team back? Because by everything, the way everything looks right now, they need to be that first team back. Forget the NBA, forget the NHL. Baseball, like Bruce said, it is the sport of the summer.
Yeah, I don't think it has to be the first back. I just want it back. Look, if the NBA continues its season, great. I don't work in that league. I follow the league a little bit. I follow hockey a little bit more. But I want baseball back first and foremost. It's what I do on a daily basis. So if it's back at all, whether it's before any of those sports or if it comes back even after the NFL opens training camp, I'm good with it. I just would like to see some sort of 2020 season.
And I want to see those people working in Wrigleyville. I want to see people back to work, enjoying their summer, enjoying their summer jobs. I want to see the vendors thriving again sometime. Maybe not this year, but hopefully in the future. That's my thought. That's my goal for sports. All the people in the periphery that are so important on a daily basis to the game day and the operation, and just the feel and sense of what baseball is in the summertime moving toward fall. So from all of that, I'm just feeling for the people and just the idea of baseball not just being the guys on the field, not the game itself, but everybody around it enjoying the summer sport.
And I have a bit of optimism right now, guys. I think the tone has been far more conciliatory of late, apparently privately from the league to the players. And then some of the players we've heard from, Ian Happ earlier in the week, John Lester just this past weekend on with Bruce and myself on the score, took a very adult conciliatory tone in terms of, look, we all want the game back and we're going to try and do what we can. So I've got a sense of optimism at this moment, and hopefully that'll come to play this week.
Well, hope springs eternal, and hopefully we will see things back in that first week of July. And like we said, this week it's going to be huge as it pertains to Major League Baseball. Now, still more to come right here on Cubs 360, including a party at Napoli's. That's right. We told you that before. And the former All-Star, he's going to fill us in on his new role with David Ross's squad. That and more next right here. You're watching Cubs 360, presented by Miller Lite.
Great job with that, guys. I think, we did a really good job of talking about the topic, but we had to be careful. So appreciate that.
Len, real quick, can you tilt down a touch on your camera?
Yeah, I am sitting up, believe it or not. I don't know what happened.
No.
You want me to tilt up?
All good. Tilt down. Create
If I
less
tilt up,
headroom,
I'm
please.
tilt down. I don't know, maybe my chair switched. I can't really do much with my seat, so
That's perfect right there. Thank you.
Okay.
We're gonna need
Did
you
I
to
sag a
slouch,
little bit?
Len. We're gonna need you to slouch now.
Deuce, need a second to reframe? Yeah, go ahead.
Somebody must have ripped the
For
players
this,
last week on this show and got reprimanded.
just got to be a little bit safer, that's all. For this, we're coming off of, remember, Napoli is obviously on tape, so this is the C block coming off of his hit from Game 7, Ben Zobrist. And then we're going to have our Miller Lite refreshing take. Ben Zobrist was the most impactful acquisition for Theo Epstein. Obviously, a bunch of really good names to toss around there. Let's start with Len here. We'll go Len, Matt, then Bruce. And then at the end, we're teasing what's the weirdest play in baseball. Just a one shot when you're ready, Deuce. All right. You got about 45 seconds each on these answers, so you have a little bit of time. No need to rush. Here we go. In 5, 4, 3, 2.
Oh man, that Ben Zobrist double in extras to win the game and the World Series championship. Well, it brings tears to my eyes each and every single time I see it. And we're back here on Cubs 360, presented by Miller Lite with the gang. It's Bruce, Len, and Matt. And Ben, well, he turns 39 years old today, so happy birthday to you, Ben Zobrist. Which gets us to our Miller Lite refreshing take of the day, where, Len, I ask you, Ben Zobrist, he is the most important acquisition in this Theo Epstein era for the Chicago Cubs. Yes or no? He's pretty important.
Well, I'll say a qualified yes, but I'm going to put him in a big bucket with a lot of other guys. The Dexter Fowler trade acquisition, way before that, Anthony Rizzo coming over from the Padres. The best free agent acquisition, or the biggest one to me, was John Lester. I guess 1A would be Joe Madden. And the greatest trade, one of the best trades in this century, in Major League Baseball, had to be the deal the Cubs made with the Orioles when they acquired Jake Arrieta and Pedro Strop. So Zobrist's signing was certainly important, but I would say all of those others preceded him. Maybe he was the final piece of the puzzle. That's the best way to put it.
Len hit on all the great possibilities, but let's talk about Scott Feldman and Steve Clevenger for Pedro Strop and Jake Arrieta. I mean, from a roster construction standpoint, the ability to have a cost-controlled, flat-out ace in Arrieta to co-lead your rotation along with John Lester, it's just massive. It means you don't have to go chase $100-200 million starting pitcher, at least in those years. And also, it was kind of a harbinger of what the Cubs' skills were as a baseball operations department. They found something to fix in Arrieta and fixed it. So I'll go Jake in terms of impact.
And both of you guys touched on everything and very well, but I'm going with that final piece, and it's Aroldis Chapman. Without Chapman, regardless of how he was used or how you think he should have been used, they don't lock down, and they don't have the swagger to come back and play the type of baseball they did, locking down the NLDS, the NLCS, and eventually the World Series. So for me, that final piece, the piece the resistance, of course, has to be Aroldis Chapman. He's the guy that was that integral part of the World Championship Club.
Well, Aroldis Chapman and that 103-mile-an-hour fastball is certainly important. But Len, like you said, Dexter Fowler, he was big because Ben Zobrist would have never came into play if Dexter Fowler didn't hit that leadoff home run in Game 7. And we know the rest is history. Now, still more to talk about right here on Cubs 360, presented by Miller Lite. And, well, he took one off of the dome 27 years ago to the day. So is that the weirdest play baseball has ever seen? Jose Canseco, we're talking about you. And our picks, they're coming next right here. Stay watching Cubs 360.
Nice. Good job there. Dexter Fowler, sneaky pick there, too. I like that line.
I had bruises on my hand from clapping so hard for my wedding ring when he hit that home run at the beginning of game 1.
All right, wrapping up the show here. So as Cole mentioned, it's the anniversary of the Canseco home run off the dome. And so we are asking you guys, what is the weirdest play you've seen? Let's start with Bruce, and then we'll go down the line. We'll go Bruce, Len, then Matt. We have some time here, too, about 45 seconds each.
And you'll be showing all the plays as they're happening as we talk about them?
Yep. We'll be putting the video on with the graphic as well.
Hey, Notch, when did Tony Gwynn hit that in the park grand slam?
Bruce, did you have something there?
I didn't give you my pick here. I don't want to step on anyone else's as far as what they're going to use. I think you asked for
19.
Do you want to go last then? I don't want to spoil the picks.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I just don't want to duplicate. So.
Okay, so we'll start with Matt and go back then. So we'll go Matt, Len, and Bruce. I'm Googling the Gwynn. June 26th of 97.
1997. Yep. Tony Gwynn.
We can start in a 4-shot, Kev.
Yep.
Just let me know when we're ready.
I actually took a fly ball off the head at Illinois Valley Community College. Didn't bounce over the fence.
That would explain a lot.
What was worse, the pain?
I had stitches right there because when we're trying to learn how to like take off and find the warning track and like turn your back to the ball and then pick it back up. And when I turned around, boom, it was right there. I'm like, I'm just gonna go with my own style and just keep my eyes on the ball the whole time.
All right, here we go. Good energy finishing up. In 5, 4, 3, 2.
Almost time to shut things down here on Cubs 360, presented by Miller Lite with Bruce, Len, and Matt. And 27 years ago to the day, we saw Jose Canseco take one off of the noggin. It bounced over the fence, and the rest is history. And Canseco's heady play, that got us to thinking the craziest, weirdest play in Major League history that you've ever seen. Bruce Levine, I know you've seen plenty of baseball. What is it?
Well, you got to go back to June 10th, 1959. Bob Anderson pitching for the Cubs at Wrigley Field against Stan Musial, and Sammy Taylor is the catcher. It's a 3-1 count. All of a sudden, it's ball 4, but it's a wild pitch. So as the ball goes to the backstop, Musial makes his way to first. Anderson and Taylor start arguing with home plate umpire Vic Delmore, saying it was a foul tip. Meanwhile, Musial, the ball is still behind him. Musial starts sneaking towards second base. Third baseman Alvin Dark of the Cubs goes and retrieves that ball. In the meantime, Delmore hands Sammy Taylor another ball, and therefore he throws it down to second base. That goes over the shortstop Ernie Banks' head into center field. Meanwhile, Dark has a second ball in play, throws it to Banks, and Musial is tagged out between second and third base. 2 baseballs in play the same time. The game was won by the Cardinals, so there was absolutely no reason to suspend this game or try to replay it. The upshot, Vic Delmore, the umpire, was fired after 1959.
Oh, I love it. I'll take you to 2004, Fenway Park, Red Sox in the field, trailing the Orioles, deep drive to center. Johnny Damon can't get it. He goes to fetch the ball and tries to throw it into Mark Bellhorn, but Manny Ramirez is standing like 25, 30 feet away, and for no reason of consequence, reaches out and stops the relay throw, setting up a 4-man 3-throw relay play that was too late. It's an inside the park 2-run homer. And to me, it's Manny being Manny. It's the trifecta. It's one, being completely out of position defensively, two, being in his own mental universe, and three, being quick and instinctive enough to actually reach out and get the ball and then whirl and throw it to Bellhorn. Completely ineffective, but gloriously entertaining as long as they happen to win the World Series a few months later.
Well, Matt, by the way, in 2003, Johnny Damon hit a single, double, triple in the first inning. They scored, I think, 14 runs against the Florida Marlins in a 25-8 win. But I'm going to go with 2013. Gene Segura of the Milwaukee Brewers stole first base against the Chicago Cubs. Now, he was at second base when the play started. He got hung up between second and third. He ended up diving back into the bag. Ryan Braun was there. They tagged both players out. It was Luis Valbuena. They called Braun out because the base belonged to Segura. Segura thought he was out, so he started to jog back toward the first base dugout. But as he got to first base, the coach there, Garth Ord, said, "Stay right here." Darwin Barney didn't tag him, and he asked for timeout. They left Segura at first base. Later in the next sequence, Segura tried to steal second and was caught stealing second base. And a couple of days later, Major League Baseball said, "That shouldn't have happened. You are not allowed to go to a previously occupied base." He should have been called out.
Yeah, so much for that saying that you can't steal first base. Now, I was going to go with Tony Gwynn back in 1997, June 26th, with a grand slam in the park style. But as Bruce brought up, Stan the Man Musial, the fact that he has 3,630 hits and he has just as many hits on the road as he did at home, not necessarily a weird occurrence, but it definitely is a crazy stat, and that's what we're here for. So you can wow your friends at the water cooler. But until next time we meet, our time here on Cubs 360 has run its course. So for Bruce, Len, and Matt, and for everybody at Marquee Sports Network, I'm Cole Wright. We'll see you tomorrow. Make it a good one, everybody.
Nice, great segment. That'll be awesome with the video laid on top of that.
Good stuff. That's
Love
one
it.
of the
See a guy-
craziest stats in all of baseball.
Bruce, you ever seen a guy go 3 for 3 in the first inning?
Oh, I mean, that's incredible. Was it in order, single, double, triple?
I think it was like single, triple, double, but
No,
the Marlins did not record an out until their third pitcher took the mound. The first two pitchers, nobody recorded an out.
2 grand slams in one inning was pretty cool.
Yeah, Fernando
Tatis.
Tatis. Yeah.
Yeah, that one, I doubt that one will happen again.
No.
I don't think so.
Are we good?
Yep, we're all good. Thanks, guys. Cole,
All
just
right,
have one
guys.
read for you.
Not today, guys. Yeah, no doubt.
Take care,
What
guys.
breed is that
Enjoyed
again?
it.
See you guys.
See ya.
See you soon.
Thanks. Have a
Good
good
stuff,
day.
fellas.
It
Promo read
was-
too.
Yep, exactly. Kev, just making sure this record is still going.
Who's James
Yep.
Wise?
Any fonts for this one? Want me to name them?
Nope, no fonts here.
Fonts, all right. I'm rolling.
Go ahead, Cole, whenever you're ready.
All right. 3, 2, 1. Hey, Cubs fans, stay tuned because after the game today on the stadium, it's college hoop star James Wiseman. And then right after that, Cubs quality control coach Mike Napoli. He's going to join us on Cubs 360. That's 7:30 sharp. You won't want to miss it.
Great. Thank you, Cole.
No doubt.
Have a great rest
We
of the
done?
day. Yep, we're
Yeah, you
all
too, man.
set.
Good stuff, Miller. Thanks, brother.
See you later.